The San Antonio Spurs had one of the most dominant NBA drafts in the entire league, and in this video, I wanted to break down some film on each and every single one of the players they drafted, including the elite scoring from Stefan Castle, to the elite passer in Juan Nunes, to the overall dynamic monster in Harrison Ingram. I'm going to break down each and every single one of these guys' film, and we're going to show you guys exactly why this new San Antonio Spurs draft class is going to dominate the NBA next season, but more importantly, for the future as well. Before we jump into the video, do me a massive favor and comment down below a letter grade for the draft, but also, who do you think is a player the Spurs should go out and try to acquire during free agency, via free agency, or a trade as well? With that being said, let's dive into the video. Now, let's start off this video talking about Stefan Castle. This is a guy who is going to fit right in with what the San Antonio Spurs are trying to do. Last season, they didn't really have that go-to scorer. This dude, Stefan Castle, is going to be that right away, pairing him up with a guy like Devin Vassell who can shoot lights out from behind the arc, but also, more importantly, what he's going to be able to do in the two-man game with Victor Wembanyama is probably going to be extremely special. Again, he reminds me a lot of SGA with that 6'6 frame, a big guard who's excellent with the ball in his hands, but also has a wide variety of different moves to create some separation. He's really good with that quick first step. It's kind of like an elite first step, right? You don't see too many people with the first step like him. And he's really has a good feel of getting defenders off balance to create a shot. Now, in this play specifically, you're going to see him come off this screen from Donovan Clingan, and he's just going to pick and choose his spots on the floor very wisely. Let's watch how this play breaks down. Boom, get that screen, get to that right elbow, and the ability to shoot over a defender who's a little bit smaller than you is something that really stands out to me, right? And you can watch this dude's film from everywhere, right? That 6'6 frame is something that can, help him defensively. It's something that can help him offensively shoot over smaller defenders. It's just something you love to see, right? He also runs the fast break extremely well. Right here, his teammate's going to end up playing the pass lane, get a steal. He's going to recognize it and fill the lane, correctly, right? And now we're off to the fast break. Never want to allow a defense to set up in the half court, which is why right here gets behind the defender and has a wide open lane to the basket, and he's able to throw down a dunk, right? The athleticism is something that stands out to me, but it's not only that. Not only his finishing ability, not only the ability to come up here, shoot big time shots in big time moments. He's a solid three-point shooter. His playmaking skills are really good. He's so unselfish as well. He's a guy that actually wants to get his teammates involved, right? He doesn't want to be the guy who's scoring all the points. He wants to average, 20 and 10 assists per game is something that this guy, is very capable of doing in the NBA, especially alongside a guy like Victor Wembanyama. Now he's playing through the post, realizes, okay, have the smaller defender, let me get the ball in the paint, get an easy layup, get it to go. Very smart, gonna realize when he has the mismatch, when he doesn't have the mismatch. This is a guy I really think is going to have a great time, and this is a high IQ play as well. It doesn't really work right away, but this is something we need to see, right? In the NBA, in college basketball, something we see a lot of is ball watching, right? All of these guys start to pay attention to, things they really shouldn't be paying attention to, right? So we're going to see this guy in the corner kind of get lost here, and he's going to be able to cut to the basket, right? Beautiful slot cut. His guy doesn't even realize that he left. And boom, looks back, not there. Could have had an easy shot there. But, we're going to draw some weak side rotation by 21. He's going to be able to find, Stefan Castle, who throws it down, gets to go. That's really good play here by Stefan Castle. Not only does he get the back door wide open, his team doesn't recognize it, but then he sits in the dunker spot, which is really good because whenever someone drives into the lane, you're always going to get weak side rotation, right? So this guy steps up, and then you have the backdoor pass to my boy Stefan Castle, who is wide open. Guys, I love Stefan Castle. I don't think we need to talk too much about him because we know how versatile he is, how talented he is. He's a tenacious defender who can score everywhere on the floor, can guard 1 through 3, sometimes even 1 through 4, depending on who the 4 is. He's got a really good chance to not only be one of the best scorers on his team right away, but a really good opportunity to be a very, very good two-way player at the same time. So, guys, if I'm being honest with you, I am pumped to see what he can do in the NBA level. Watch how he breaks down his opponent here, spins into the lane, He's going to, gather his momentum and then throw up a floater off the glass and get it to go. This is a guy who's going to be fun to watch. Now, before we get into the next player, we're going to break down, a couple of other guys here. Before we get into that, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications. Guys, it is free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Spurs throughout the entirety of the offseason. Join the family right now for unlimited Spurs videos, from here to the end of the season next year. We're going to be doing everything. So join the family. Let's get back into the video. Now, let's talk a little bit about Juan Nunes. This is a guy I'm very excited about. I think he fits into, Greg Popovich's scheme really, really well, right? If you even want to bring him off the bench, you can. If you want to put him in the G League to develop a little bit, you can. But this is one of the best passers in this draft. And honestly, if I'm being completely real with you guys, I think he is the best passer, the most experienced passer, and has got a lot of playing time overseas. On this play specifically, he's going to drive into the lane. And something that we said earlier, whenever you can get leverage on your guy, get into the lane, you're going to draw some help, either on the weak side or the strong side. Now, on this play specifically, the help defense is going to come from the paint. So 44 is going to drop in, turn around, and pick up, right? Leaving his guy open, he comes to the dunker spot and, kind of just sits there wide open, right? Nunes does such a good job driving in and just giving him a quick pass, right? Very, very quick, very subtle, and gets his guy pretty much a wide open little layup to go. This is something that he is going to be able to create here in the NBA, right? I'm not going to say he's someone that's going to be a day one starter for you, but the skill set, right? The ability to come out here and make big time passes, making the game of basketball so much easier for your teammates is something that is so valuable in the NBA. And I think he's going to be able to do it a ton, right? And I think they might let him develop a little bit over, in the G League here. But just such a smart basketball player. And to win NBA games, this is what you need. You need guys who can do the little things. And yes, passing the ball is something that is vastly underrated, and he probably does it the best, right? Look at this pass here. Comes off the screen. Where's the weak side rotation going to come from off the screen? He notices it, and unbelievable pass. Gets his guy a wow. And that is a beautiful catch and shoot, by the way. I don't know who that guy is, but this dude caught it at his face and just put it up. That is, hey, we need to draft that guy. Spurs, go get that guy. That is sick. That is actually crazy. But another thing about him is, he's got decent side. He's got enough speed, enough athleticism to be a really good player in the NBA, right? Now, with that being said, I think he needs to develop a little bit in terms of his outside shot. If he can get that down, he's going to be a guy who can have a lot of success. Nice little ghost screen here by the big. Drives into the lane, finds the backdoor cut. Look at this pass, dude. Unbelievable pass. Again, he has gotten 3 guys wide open buckets. The fact that he looked to the right side as well and then had that nice little dump off to him. This guy is one of my favorites just because the way he plays, the unselfish style of basketball. You can tell he only cares about winning games. Something you love to see. I think he fits in perfectly with Greg Popovich and what they're trying to do. I mean, guys, I would give him an A+ addition just because of his potential as a passer, and if he could start hitting threes, unbelievable player. Now, lastly, there's Harrison Ingram. This is a guy who I also love. Pretty much can do everything, right? He's a big wing, big forward, about 6'8", can switch multiple different positions defensively, can guard the 1, can guard the 2, can guard 3, even the 4 or the 5 in some situations depending on who the big man is. He can defend all positions. We just saw what the Celtics did in terms of, getting 5 guys who can defend multiple different positions, who can really spread the floor, and that is the literal definition of Harrison Ingram. Not only can he handle the rock offensively, he can shoot it from deep. He knows how to play the game of basketball. He can play 1 through 3 as a point guard, a shooting guard, a forward, a wing, whatever you need him to do, he can do it, right? A guy who can just do everything. Look how he stops on a dime here and is able to shoot over his defender, draw that little bit of contact, create a little bit of separation, and get a nice little mid-range to go. That is beautiful, right? Now, listen, he's a very athletic wing. He's got a good frame defensively. Again, the potential of this player, if he even remotely gets a little bit better, he's going to be an absolute stud in this system with Greg Popovich, with Devin Vassell, Stefan Castle, Victor Wembanyama. Just adds another big body who can really switched defensively. Again, I think he's got some work to do in terms of his three-point shot, but he has already proven that he can hit him, right? He is a player that has the capabilities, and look, if you're going to sag off him, you're going to pay, right? Has the confidence to just pull it up. Even though he's not the best shooter in the world, I love to see guys who have the confidence to just shoot that pill, right? Shoot that ball. If you're open, if they're disrespecting you, go out there and make some big-time plays. That's what I want to see all the time. Runs the fast break very, very well. Notices, if he can get out in transition, nobody's stopping him with that frame, with the athleticism. He's a guy that's going to make a lot of big-time plays. Gets into the post here, not even really on... Or actually, that wasn't him. He's in the corner here. Going to come off that pin down. He's going to stop. The defender tries to go under the screen. Never do that versus a shooter. Goes under, and he's able to pull up a three. Again, the confidence level is there for him. And he played for a really good school as well, so the development process has been there. Again, in transition, pull up three. Beautiful. Love the confidence. A little bit short, but ends up going down. Guys, 6'8", 230 pounds. This dude is going to be a good player. And you know what another thing is? I didn't even mention this part. He's a good passer. Okay, you brought in 3 guys in this draft that are willing passers, unselfish basketball. Stefan Castle, right? Juan Nunes and Harrison Ingram. Guys that want to move the ball. Guys that want other guys to succeed in this offense. I love it. I think they had an unbelievable draft in terms of versatility. Guys who can do multiple different things and can do it at a high level, man. I really, really am confident that the Spurs have a better basketball team. Look at this shot, man. Quick trigger off that, setting the screen. You get that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. If you want another one of these videos, comment down